votes to limit Trump's Iran war powers. The vote is a rebuke to the president, who has insisted he doesn't need congressional approval for action on Iran. The House voted Wednesday to limit Donald Trump's war powers in a sign that the push to rein in the president has moved beyond Democratic protest votes. The measure, introduced by Gregory Meeks, Democrat of New York, passed 215 to 208 after failing in 3 previous votes. Republican reps Thomas Massie, Brian Fitzpatrick, Tom Barrett, and Warren Davidson joined Democrats in supporting the measure. Rep. Jared Golden of the previously voted against similar measures flipped this time. The measure would direct Trump to remove U.S. forces from hostilities with Iran unless Congress authorizes continued military action. The procedural vote came just over 2 weeks after the Senate advanced its own measure following repeated failed attempts in both chambers. Since then, lawmakers have grown frustrated with Trump's refusal to seek congressional approval for the war, even as the conflict has stretched past 90 days. Under the 1973 War Powers Law, presidents are supposed to seek congressional authorization after 60 days of sustained hostilities, with up to 30 additional days allowed only to safely wind down U.S. involvement. Trump has not sought such authorization and has argued instead that hostilities have ended. That has given Democrats and wary Republicans a sharper argument that Congress has waited long enough to assert its role. Fitzpatrick told Notice the 60-day mark changed the vote for some Republicans. The 60-day point clearly changed for a lot of people, he said ahead of the vote. You either follow the law or you change the law. Those are the two options. Supporter of the War Powers Resolutions believed they had the votes to pass it before the Memorial Day recess, but House Republican leaders pulled the measure before it went to a vote. The Senate resolution still pending before the recess. Senators advanced their own measure in a 50-47 vote after 7 previous failed attempts. Senate Democrats held off their vote this week, giving the House room to move first on the procedural vote and hoping action in both chambers would put more pressure on the White House. This was the cheer and what Ro Khanna had to say after.
On this vote, the yeas are 215 and the nays are 208. The concurrent resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
We just passed the Iran War Powers Resolution 215 to 8 in the House of Representatives. The Senate now needs to follow. We need to end this war in Iran. Too many Americans are paying too much for gas and food and ordinary costs of living. I wish Thomas Massie and my War Powers Resolution had passed 2 months ago. We would have avoided the loss of life and all of these costs. But let us at least end the war now.
Come on.
A big day for Democrats, a big day for accountability. Honestly, Republicans in difficult districts should be very excited about this. Not that I'm very excited for them, but again, like I said earlier, sigh of relief here. Truly, these people defending Donald Trump's war. And whether or not Trump is going to listen to Congress, it's up in the air, but this is a sizable step. I should also point out that, there was loss of life due to an Iranian strike on Kuwait. Donald Trump and Israel have continued their campaign of killing, whether in Iran, blowing up civilian infrastructure, power plants, roads, bridges, so on and such. Not to put that lightly with the so on and such, but I think at this point you know what I'm saying. And then, of course, Israel's continued campaign of mass murder across southern Lebanon. This has all been allowed to